Stoopid. It's our new series, Stoopid. I just like saying stupid. How many of you are just excited that you get to be in the same room with Josh Cribbs? Yes! All right, let me ask you this. How many are excited that you just get to be in the same room with Jesus Christ? There we go. Good, good. Well, guys, like I said, we're kicking off a brand new series. I don't want to take much of your time tonight, but I want to share a message that I haven't preached on this in a little while, and we're going to talk about something that may be a little difficult, but I think it'll help somebody in here today. But I want to ask you this. Have you ever just had some stupid moments in your life? Like, just with a raise of hand, like you had those stupid moments in life. Okay? I've had some severely stupid moments in my life. And I know some of you right now, when I said that, you begin to think, what stupid thing has happened in my life? And I could go on some of your Instagram pages and I could show you some stupid moments in your life. And some of you are right now, you're like, yeah, I remember that boyfriend I had in 8th grade. Yeah, that was stupid. Or, you know, maybe you had that girlfriend that she was crazy. You know which one I'm talking about? The stalkerish kind of girlfriend. Like the one that she wants to look you up on a GPS to see where you're at. Listen, if that's happening, check. It probably is not going to turn out too good for you. But listen, we all have stupid moments in our life, and I just thought about some of the stupid moments in my own life. We could probably be here all day talking about them, but I remember one very vividly. I was a junior in high school. I was in the youth group, and we went and took a Christmas party one year to Golden Corral. And while we were there, somebody was like, Josh, I dare you for $5. Let me just tell you how you know if something's stupid. If people start pulling out their cell phones, that's the first common denominator that what you're about to do is pretty stupid. So they was like, for $5, would you drink a whole bottle of hot sauce? I was like, nah, man. And then they were like, come on, Josh, come on. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Listen, somebody ever ask you to do that? Don't do it. That was the worst 24 hours of my life. I probably would have been fine, but Tabasco hot sauce bottles have this little ring that they make where it just drips out the hot sauce. It's not where it just pours out. So I turned this bottle of hot sauce up like I'm going to be the man on some like some strongest guy competition or something. And I just I figured out I had to suck the hot sauce out. So it was like literally like burning all the way down to the back of my throat. I got about halfway through the bottle and I just threw up all on the table. And then I ran to the bathroom, and we won't talk about that. That's like bad stuff there. Ashley's like, why did you do it? You knew it's gonna hurt you. Why did you do it? Because you always, sometimes in life, well, I don't want to say always, but sometimes in life, you make stupid decisions and do stupid things. And I want to help some of you out. A lot of that was encouraged by friends. So wrong friends can encourage really stupid ideas. Listen, if they don't want to do it, there's a reason for that. So remember that. I know in this world of YouTube and all these crazy things, everybody wants to do the best. I don't get it. I'm not going to hurt myself on purpose. It's just not going to happen. But we could talk all night about stupid things and how in our life we've made some stupid decisions and stupid choices. And over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about some stupid things that we take part in our own Christian life that we really shouldn't. And tonight, I want to talk to you about one of those things. This whole night, I want to talk about this one thing that we really don't talk about a lot in church, but it's something I feel that, especially when you're in middle school and high school, you deal with. And simply the stupid thing I want to talk to you about tonight is jealousy. Jealousy. Oh man. Pastor Josh, I already don't like this topic, because some of you are dealing with it right now. And I wanted you to understand that jealousy is really bad if it's not taken care of. I want to ask my wife to come to the stage at this moment, at this time. I'm going to ask her, over just the next few moments, we're going to talk a little bit, have a little dialogue about jealousy, and talk about a little bit of the things that she ran into when she was dealing with jealousy in her own life. And I want you to understand tonight, guys, this topic. If you want to just grab a stool, you can just bring a stool over here. So I want you to understand tonight that jealousy, I say it's stupid, but it's really a real thing that is hurting a lot of people. And so I want to talk to Ashley tonight just a little bit about some of the things that she encountered in her own life. So Ashley, I want to ask you this. Have you ever personally dealt with jealousy?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yes, I have.
What are some of the ways that this jealousy made you feel? And if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about how jealousy kind of crept into your life and kind of what happened after that.
I don't think that I got jealous on purpose. And when I did feel like I was jealous, it made me feel really bad. And like I wanted to get over that the whole time. So I was like, looking back, it was definitely a waste of my time to feel that way. But at the time, I just felt like it was something that I couldn't help, and I had to feel that way. And it was just, that's how it was. And the second part was some instances?
Yeah,
okay.
If you don't mind, just tell us a few instances that you did.
All right, so the biggest jealousy that I ever faced, and probably what most of you guys are going to face at this age in middle school and high school, is with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Mine was just a boyfriend, and it was Josh. So when I first started coming to church, obviously, who wouldn't love him? So I was like, man, he's really awesome. I really like him. And apparently some other people did too. So we were in revival one week, and I was like, oh, I want to sit by Josh at church. And so I went up to him and I asked him, I was like, hey, you want to sit together tomorrow night? And he said, well, I'm sitting with this other girl already. We already talked about it. And I was like, who? And so he told me your name, and I followed her outside into the parking lot. And you guys are gonna like be really shocked at this, I'm sure. But I followed her out into the parking lot and I said, hey, like Josh told me y'all are sitting together tomorrow. And she said, yeah, we are. And I pushed her on the ground, y'all. I pushed her on the ground. I did that. So it made me do something that I wouldn't normally do. I don't push people, I don't fight, I'm not physical, I'm not violent. But at the time, I got that way. So it was pretty bad. So anyway, we ended up sitting next to each other, and then shortly thereafter, we started dating. And then, so you guys know Josh. He loves to talk. He loves to be the center of attention. Everyone's his friend, and when he talks, everyone has to listen. You guys know that. So after we started dating, when church would get out, some of you might remember, it was in the old church. There was a trailer behind the old church. We had youth group in there. I see some heads nodding. So after youth group would get over from the trailer, we'd go outside in the parking lot and we'd all chit-chat, except for me, because I was jealous. Because Josh would talk to all these people, boys, girls, just everybody. Josh is center of attention all the time. And I would be like, oh, he is talking to everyone else and not me. Oh my gosh, he's talking to those girls. He might like them more than me. They might like him. I don't know what's going on. And so then I would go sit in the car, y'all, for an hour by myself while he was out there having fun. So who was getting hurt from this jealousy? It was me. It wasn't affecting him at all till we got in an argument about it later. And then it wasn't bothering the other people who I was jealous over, 'cause they didn't even know. I would just go sit and it would hurt me. And then I began to get bitter about it. And this happened for a long time. So even after we were already dating, I knew he liked me, but I was still jealous about it. And then he was like, Ashley, that's stupid. Why do you feel like that? And now looking back, we've been married almost 10 years this year. Well, 10 years this year. And thank you. Looking back at when we were dating, that was really stupid. I don't know why I felt that way, and it only hurt me. It didn't hurt anyone else. So it was really a waste of my time.
Thank you so much, Miss Ashley. Y'all give her a big hand clap. I know it took a lot of courage to do that because so many times we don't like sharing our failures with other people, but it was something that along our relationship, we understood that jealousy was really putting a strain on our relationship, and we had to deal with it. And so, like Ashley said, it's very stupid, but it's real. That's what I don't want to downplay the how harsh jealousy is because of the title stupid. But when I promise you this, when you step out of jealousy and you begin to see things in a new light, you will understand what I'm trying to say, that you'll look and be like, why was I doing that? What was happening? And I can remember my own times in my own personal life. I haven't really had a problem with jealousy kind of going through ministry and church and everything. My personality's kind of, I can hang out with anybody. I can have a conversation with a tree post, it's no big deal. So I've never really had that, but there's been some moments in my life, some things in my life that I've seen other people receive, and I thought to myself, I really want that. And maybe it's envy, maybe it's jealousy, all tied into one. But I began to think to myself, why did God bless them and not me? And these things can destroy you if you will allow them. But can I tell you this, and many of you already know this, jealousy is usually very small. It don't ever come and just show up and then Connor's like, nobody can talk to Blake. It never works out that way. Nobody wants to talk to Blake anyway. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But it usually shows up in the little things in our own life. And guys, I'm going to ask you to give me your attention up here. Like Ashley said, I don't like it when other people talk. But I want to tell you this, and I ain't going to take too much of your time tonight. Jealousy comes on when we listen to the lies of the enemy, because that is the only thing that starts the ball of jealousy in your life, is when you begin to listen to the small lies. They're all lies. They're no big, small, it don't matter. That is when jealousy begins to start. And tonight I want to talk to you. I want to tell you a story about a young man in the Bible that jealousy ruined his life. And tonight I want to talk to you about the destruction of jealousy. And then at the end of this message tonight, I'm going to tell you how you can be delivered from jealousy. But the story goes, and I'm going to ask Blake, if you don't mind, come on up here on stage. And can you come sit right here on this stool, and when I say play me a song, just strum the guitar. So. I wouldn't be Bryce. Yeah. Just like Bryce. So if you got your Bible, let's turn to 1 Samuel chapter 18. And it's going to be on the screen for you, verse 6. We're going to talk about a man named Saul today. It says, when the men were returning home after David had killed the Philistine, the giant, Goliath, the woman came out from all the towns of Israel to meet King Saul with singing and dancing, with joyful songs, and with, I'm going to say, tambourines and lyres. Verse 7, as they danced, they sang, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. Verse 8, Saul was very angry. This refrain displeased him greatly. They've credited David with tens of thousands, he thought, but with me only thousands. What more can he get but the kingdom? And from that time on, Saul kept a close eye on David. Verse 10. The next day, an evil spirit from God came forcefully on Saul. He was prophesying in his house while David was playing the lyre as he usually did, play the guitar. And Saul threw a spear at David. See, that David didn't get away. I got him, because this is a cool gun. But not only once, I did it on purpose. I'm like Liam Neeson. I have a certain expert set of skills. I will track you down and I will kill you. But I showed you this because I want you to remember the story. And he hurled it. He took the spear and he hurled it, saying to himself, I'll pin David to the wall. But David eluded him twice. And I want to talk to you tonight that something rose up in the heart of Saul when they began to talk about how much David had done for the kingdom and how little Saul had done. And jealousy rose up in the heart of Saul. And in that moment, Saul said, I know what I'll do. I will kill him. I will kill him because I am jealous of what God is doing in his life. And the easiest way, what else is there left? You're going to take the kingdom if I don't kill you. And so I tell you this story tonight to tell you this, and thank you, Blake, for your awesome guitar playing. And if y'all don't listen, I will shoot you. Just joking. If you get out of hand, I will shoot you, though. I can shoot it all the way to the sound booth. Watch. Good job, Brother Tony. So, these weapons are dangerous. Real quick plug before we go any further in the sermon. In the fall, we're going to have a Nerf war. You want to be here for that. It's going to be awesome. So, so let me tell you a little bit about Saul. Saul was the king over Israel, and God was doing great things in his life, but David came and he defeated the Philistine giants, and this passage picks up, and it begins to tell of how the people began to view David greater than they did Saul, and that made Saul jealous. And I want to tell you tonight that in your own life, there's things that you may see in other people's life, and it makes you jealous. You don't understand. What is the destruction of jealousy? If some of you could be up here preaching this sermon because you know what it's done to you. You could be up here preaching this exact sermon because you know what the destruction of jealousy has done in your life. And the jealousy comes in and it ruins relationships. That's the first thing that jealousy done. I can tell you this, Ashley and I, like she said, we've been married 10 years, but the closest thing that caused us to almost break up and say we were done was jealousy. And maybe that's why this is so near and dear to my heart, because I believe God has great plans for people, but we allow jealousy to ease in. We allow jealousy to get into our lives, and it causes us to ruin relationships because jealousy gets in and it destroys trust. For some reason, you don't trust that person no more. It destroys communication because it's always like, why are you interrogating me? Because jealousy has a way of, just like in this passage, you'll see that Saul and David had a good relationship before this, but jealousy came in. And I want to tell some of you, there's relationships in your life that you want to hold on to, that you want to have, but jealousy is going to tear them away. And then you're going to look back one day and you're going to say, I lost that relationship over something that stupid. Everybody don't want your man. I know Ashley's did. I'm just joking. Man, that's the way you get her to up here to preach. You feel good when you leave, like, man, how's the ladies, man, and all that stuff. So, but as we go through this book, as we go through this Bible, there's so many stories that jealousy ruined people's lives. The first place that blood was ever shed in the Bible was over jealousy. Matter of fact, we are right here, right now because of jealousy. And can I tell you why? Because Satan was so jealous over God that he tried to overthrow the kingdom. So can I tell you that jealousy is at the center of a lot of the sin issues that we're having in our life. And so Cain and Abel, I won't take too long to tell you this story, 2 brothers, God said, I want a sacrifice from both of you. One brother brought a sacrifice. He gave his best. The other didn't do so great. The one brother said, you know what? I can't have this. This man showed me up. So he went and killed his brother because he was jealous of the things going on in his life. And there's so many more. I think of Joseph and his brothers. Joseph was a dreamer. He come and told his brothers, he said, one day y'all gonna bow down to him. And they said, oh no, we'll kill you. So they took Joseph, threw him into a pit, went back and told their daddy, hey, the animal came and devoured Joseph, and here's his bloody coat. All because jealousy got into the heart of these men and said, this can't happen. As I go through the scriptures, I just begin to see that jealousy is such a big issue for us as the church to shut down and not talk about it. So the destruction of jealousy ruins relationships. It changes the view of other people. Ashley told you, she said, those people, there was nothing wrong with them. They wasn't doing anything bad. But when jealousy got into her mind, she began to view them differently. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Is when that person, let's just preach, let's just talk a little bit. Be real. Don't raise your hand. But there's some of us in here that's dealt with jealousy. And the jealousy goes like this. I'm jealous of Austin because he's like handsome and he's cool and he's fast and he's like a Marine. I mean, come on. And then there's another guy like Zach. He's cool, awesome, and just as great. But I get so mad because I'm jealous of Austin. Like Austin could come back and he would be like, you know, hey guys, I'm glad to see you here. And you know how I'm gonna feel if I'm jealous? Oh yeah, look at him. He just come back, he wants to show off. He just wants to show off. Look at him, he's sitting on the front row. I mean, and that's how stupid. That's how stupid jealousy makes you feel. Same people can do the same thing. Zach, oh yeah, Zach, he's such a great guy. You know, he does so much. And I mean, he looks like Napoleon Dynamite. Awesome. You know? I mean, and what I'm trying to say is we view people a different way because if we're not careful, jealousy begins to change the view and it begins to let us isolate that person and make them feel like they're different, like everything they do is out against me. Why did they send me that text message? Did you see that had the exclamation point? What were they saying? I'm telling you, why did they put that in all caps? Were they yelling at me? I mean, you the jealousy, man, you be wanting to. I'm out of bullets now, so you're safe. But you just want to go up there and just. And so what I'm trying to tell you, it changes the view. And some of you are in relationships right now, and there are people, you think people's hitting on your boyfriend all the time, and you ain't got no friends because you've isolated yourself from every single one of them because they want my man. Listen, honey, boo-boo, they don't want your man that bad. I promise you. Listen, if they wanted it, if he wants to leave you that bad, let him go. If he ain't strong enough to say no, then let him go. Whew, that's a good quote right there. Oh, wow. You see, it makes you become miserable in all areas of your life. I view jealousy almost as a cancer. It starts in one area of your life and it begins to grow and grow. And then you find yourself in different areas, not only relationships, but now on your job. Why did they get a raise? Why did they get the promotion? And I can tell you why. Why did they get the scholarship? And jealousy will destroy you. And the truth is it destroys churches too. And I'm about to preach for just a moment. I ain't gonna stay on this long, but the truth is we don't like to talk about jealousy in church because many times Christians are jealous of other Christians and churches are jealous of other churches. And the truth is, if we all remember, we're on the same team and for the same glory and for the same God. And so we need to stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and let's focus on the one God that really loves us and cares for us. So you know what? I'm going to celebrate what Christ Church does. I'm going to celebrate what Kingsland United Methodist does. I'm going to celebrate what Ignite Church does because they are on the same team. I'm not getting jealous because Allison is killing it over there at Christ Church Camden right now. She's doing a phenomenal job. So we must have to look forward and say, I'm not going to let the enemy come in and try to pull me away. I'm not going to be jealous. But what I am going to do is I'm going to lift him up. So, can I tell you this? The final thing that I know what jealousy does is it destroys your purpose. God cannot use a jealous person. Your heart cannot be filled with jealousy and the love of Jesus Christ. It can't. It won't work that way. Either you're going to love or at the root of jealousy is hate. And so my question to you, my friend, what are you going to do today? Because that's the destruction of jealousy. But can I tell you about the deliverance of jealousy? How do I get out of this, Josh? I know what you're talking. I know what you're saying. It's kind of funny, but it's real. I get mad at people and I get angry, and I don't understand why everybody wants to talk to my boyfriend, and I don't understand why I feel this way. I don't want to feel this way. So how do I get out of it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Admit that you struggle with it. Stop trying to cover it up. Look yourself in the mirror. I'm not saying you got to come down here tonight and tell me all your dirty laundry. I can't change it. He can. Look yourself in the mirror. You got to turn your hat around backwards. And the reason I'm wearing this hat is so I can see y'all, because I can block out the light this way. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not going to be tied down by this jealousy anymore. And you begin to make steps to get out of that mess. You begin to make steps. You know what one of the main things Ashley done is she began to move. She got out of the car. She used to stay in the car forever. Most awkward conversation. Where's Ashley? The first few times I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, I'm lying. I know exactly where she's at. She's in the car. What's wrong with her? I don't know. Maybe got a headache. After that wore off, I was like, I don't know. I don't think she likes anybody. You know, you just get tired of it. And so we got to talking about it. And you know what? She began to come in and she began to find relationships with people she could really trust and begin to downplay the jealousy side. And so today, if you're going to be delivered from jealousy, James 3:14 says, but if your heart is full of bitter jealousy and selfishness, don't brag or lie to cover up the truth, but be honest. Say, I don't want to be this way. I want freedom to come to my heart. Read the word. I just told you of 3 or 4 different stories in this Bible of jealousy. Read these stories. Begin to see what the destruction looked like. Begin to ask God to give you deliverance. Begin to pray against it. But you can't defeat jealousy without reading this. Why are you always talking about that Bible, Pastor Josh? Because every answer lies right here. Everything you're facing. This is just a poor old ignorant country boy up here preaching tonight. But I have a book full of knowledge. And I know that if you apply it to your life, God will change you in a mighty way. Rejoice in the success of others. Listen, just what I talked about. Listen, I know right now it's like prom time. When's prom? Next week? This week. Y'all wanted that cool promposal. Y'all didn't get it. Or maybe some of you did. We didn't have that stuff when I was growing up. I just said, hey, Ashley, you going to prom with me? Yep. Good. Y'all want all this. Y'all want somebody to go on Pinterest and spend 4 days figuring out the best way that nobody else has been asked to prom. And y'all want the coolest little candy bars on some piece of paper. I mean, it's just getting crazy. But some of y'all in here, old girl get asked to, young girl gets asked to prom. Well, I wonder what she was doing. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what they're gonna do. I know what they're gonna do at prom. Stop being that way. Tell that girl you're proud of her. That's awesome. And don't be doing like some of y'all bad girls do. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Stupid. Stupid. I know how y'all work. Be talking to your face like they love you. I'm gonna tell you like that little girl on Facebook. Don't say you love me. You don't love me, you just love yourself. So what I'm trying to say is rejoice when God is doing great things. Rejoice when God is blessing people. Rejoice when somebody gets a date to prom. Rejoice when Melinda has a relationship longer than 3 weeks. Wow. Woo! Don't get jealous. Rejoice. So we always thought Melinda would be single all her life, so it's a huge thing around here at DSM. So we love her. Jealousy is when we resent God's goodness in others' lives and ignore God's goodness in our own lives. Remember that. And I want to close this out tonight. I want to tell you, I believe the last way that you'll have to beat jealousy is to have a heart of gratefulness. God's doing great things in your own life. He's got great plans for you. Don't look to others to validate yourself, because that's what jealousy does. We look at others and we hold our life up against theirs, and when it don't match up, we begin to get jealous. But God's got a plan for you. You know what? You might not be the youth pastor that stands on a pulpit and preaches the gospel, but you know what? For every one of my volunteers here tonight, guys, ministry is not possible without every single person here. So don't hold yourself up and say, well, I ain't doing exactly what Pastor Josh is doing, so don't do that. Because I know that's what the enemy did to me. He began to hold up things and hold up other people, and we have to be grateful for what God is doing in our heart. And tonight I want to show you a video of how I believe God loves us enough to get us out of this jealous, stupid problem that we have. Take a look and watch the screen. As you're standing here tonight, just lower the lights a little bit, guys. Just want to talk to you. Because what I'm about to talk to you about for the next few moments is really important. Many of us, we're like the birds in the cage. He pokes the stick of jealousy at us, turning our life upside down. But God never intended us to live in that cage. As a matter of fact, He loved us enough, just like this video showed, that He gave every single thing He had, so that you don't have to live bound by jealousy. Guys, if I could tell you in the easiest terms, jealousy is so stupid because it robs you of everything that you are. And tonight, I know this ain't one of those topics that make the top 10 list and everybody gets excited about, but this is what I know. I know that every single person in here, that some place, some point in our life, that jealousy has begun to chip away at who we are and who we're supposed to be. And the people around us are affected. We've ruined relationships. We've viewed people in different ways than we know God wanted. And the truth is, if we're really honest with ourselves tonight and we don't cover up and we don't try to make it look good, I'm not saying that you're a bad person. I'm not saying that you're horrible. What I'm saying is you're living life in bondage of jealousy, and that bondage makes life miserable at times, and it makes you want to just ask the question, why God, why am I feeling this way? Don't listen to the enemy. My question tonight is simply this. With heads bowed and eyes closed, I want to ask you a simple question. Who would tonight say, Pastor Josh, I just want out of the cage. I don't want to be bound no more. I know He opened the door. I know He opened the door when He died for me, but I still hadn't left yet. If you're here tonight and you'd say, Pastor Josh, I need the freedom that Jesus Christ is the only one that offers. If you'd step out of your seat and move to this altar as I count to 3. I want to pray over you tonight because I've been right where you're at. I've dealt with jealousy. I've dealt with envy. I've dealt with comparison. I've dealt with everything inside of me that makes me look at other people and devalue what God is doing in my own life. And I don't want the same for you. I want you to live in freedom here tonight. If you're here, as I count to 3, I want you to step out of your seat and I want you to move to this altar. And you're just saying, I need freedom tonight. I don't care whatever it's over. It may be sin. It may be jealousy. It may be rebellion. It may be pornography. I don't care. Tonight is freedom. He loves you and He cares for you enough that He opened the door through the cross. Father, I ask you right now